Good evening. I hope this is actually far enough away. I am at Dul Chicken. It's a chicken place, and I have quite the spread in front of me. All this was actually 20 bucks, plus the soda. I don't know what that is on top of it. There's obviously an alarm going off in the background. But the food has come out. I was actually snacking on the sides prior to the food actually coming out. The salad actually shocked me because the dressing is ketchup and mayo. It looked like it, but I didn't think they were going to put it on there. I don't actually have a good way to put the camera up, so I hope I'm actually getting a good view here and it's not just my nose. But let's check out this chicken. It smells amazing. It's hot, as in temperature wise, but it's good. It's a lot sweeter than I thought it was going to be. I got the spicy garlic chicken. There's a little bit of a kick to it, but nothing too crazy. This is actually the first meal that I'm having on the first day that I got out of quarantine on my own. Need to figure out this QR code system because my QR code's not working. At least I could just write down my phone number. That's kind of nice. It's gonna definitely make it easier and faster for me to get into restaurants because I actually walked into a few restaurants prior to coming here and just turned around because they didn't have like the place for me to write down things. Everything was electronic. I'm gonna try to figure that out at home today. One of the cool things about this chicken is that it does come with rice cakes in it. That's awesome. It's such a good idea. There's so much chicken here though. Like 20 bucks worth of chicken is definitely for 2 people, and I'm not 2 people. Another thing I left at home was my to-go container. This chicken place is right around the corner from my house. I don't know, maybe I could just ask them for a box and I'll just take the box home. The trash situation at my house is a little different. Like I'm trying to understand it. I don't know if I actually need trash bags or not because there's a big trash bin outside with trash bags in it. And so as long as I just throw away everything in there, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty sure everybody here is going to give me plastic bags though. It's just a thing they love to do in Asia. So hopefully I can continue with that. But yeah, the chicken's really good. The daikon pickle is just meh. And like I said, the salad really surprised me being that it was ketchup and mayo for the dressing. I just wasn't expecting that at all. I don't know if I like it or not. It's decent. Nothing to write home about. Well, here's something kind of interesting. I thought I've only seen this in Japanese food. They have, I believe these are small onions that are pickled. It looks like garlic, but I believe it's an onion. Very sweet, it's good. I can see that kind of cutting the oil from a fried chicken. And it goes really good together. Camera's getting really heavy. Should have brought the small tripod, but overall, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. They didn't give me any rice. I wonder if I should order some, but I think I'm gonna try to just eat the chicken on its own first and see where I can get. Probably check back in because I have this crazy story of another restaurant I was looking for. Anyhow, we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. I am exhausted and I think I kind of look it. I just finished having the chicken dinner. Actually, I didn't even get the outside of that chicken restaurant. I'll have to do it tomorrow when I walk by it again. If I walk by it again tomorrow, I'll do it sometime. But I had chicken for dinner tonight. The leftovers are actually in my fridge. I'm actually, the reason I'm super tired, aside from the fact that I woke up at like, 5:30, 5:50, something like that, is that it's just been a go day. It was, okay, what do I do from here? So I looked up on Mango Plate. I tried to find a restaurant. And I found one that served this crazy katsu dish. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's try that. And so I went and did the address, put it into Naver Maps, and then I was like, okay, it's on the other side of the station. It's on the far side of the station. So it was like, literally, if I'm on the north side of the station, which I think it was on the south side of the station. So I'm like, okay, I'll walk all the way down and it's fine, whatever. I'll just walk to the other side of the station. It was a pleasant walk. I actually walked by a ton of good looking restaurants and I should have just stopped at that point. As soon as I saw something I was willing to eat and pay for, I should have just stopped and ate there. Being determined to go get this katsu, I walked all the way over and passed it. And then I walked back and passed it again. And then I walked back and found out that it was like I think I walked past it actually about 3 or 4 times. Naver Maps, when it comes to at least their walking navigation, I'm gonna have to look up a video on how to use it because it was confusing to me. I was just trying to follow, like, it's just literally you're following a blue dot on a line. And instead of the line moving you and moving everything to show where you're going, it just shows the path that you're on. And maybe I think I must be doing something wrong because that just didn't seem like navigation to me. And so when I actually got to like the street, I found out, like, I started reading it like a map rather than using it like GPS. I was reading it and I saw that there was supposed to be a restaurant called like Pato something on one side and like a music shop on the other, and I'm supposed to keep continuing down there, and down that alleyway there'll be the restaurant I'm looking for. So I walked down that alleyway. You know, GPS is never all that accurate, so I don't ever fault the phone for the GPS being off by like 10 or 20 meters. But that being said, I was walking around and like I straight passed the place and the phone didn't know that I passed the place. Like, I was looking and I walked back and I walked back and forth. In totality, I walked about 6.5 miles according to my phone. And I'm sure it's more than that because a lot of the time I was holding my phone, so it wasn't in my pocket doing the jingle or whatever. But there was no restaurant there. It was closed. Like, it was gone. Straight gone. I mean, maybe I'll go back tomorrow when it's daylight and try to find it, but at night, yeah, that was a nightmare. And then I was like, okay, there was a McDonald's inside of the train station. Real close to it. Let's just walk over, go to the restaurant, and McDonald's was slammed. Like, they were so busy. And I'm just like, okay, I don't want to wait in this line. Let's go, let's see if there's anything next door. All the restaurants in the station were busy. And the ironic thing is that I should have known that it's dinner time, the restaurants are gonna be busy. That makes sense. The thing that didn't click was all the restaurants around the station, like outside of the station, were not slammed. They had a few tables here and there, but very easy to just walk in and sit down. And so I decided, instead of doing that, let me go down to where the H Mart was again and go check out the restaurants there and see if there's anything I want to eat there. And I walked down and I wasn't paying attention the first time around. So I called it H Mart again. Right in front of the Lotte Market or whatever, there was a few restaurants. And I walked over to the restaurants and although they looked decent, they just, one, were not in the price range that I was looking to pay. And two, they're just, for what you got, for what you paid for, I just didn't feel the squeeze was worth that juice. And so I was like, okay. I remember there's a chicken place on the way home. That's how I ended up going and getting the sweet and sour chicken, or the garlic chicken, spicy garlic chicken for dinner. Was I walked home and that place was there. Now, I will say that the drink and the chicken came out to 23,500 won, which is about $19. So it was a bit pricey, but it was enough food for two. That was for sure. And I'm overly full because I tried to finish it and that was a bad idea. Then I was just like, can I pack this to go? And the guy said, yep. And he packed it for me. And then I went and paid the $19 and got out of there. And now I'm here at home. And all I'm thinking about is taking a shower now. My laundry is just hanging all over the room because I'm waiting for it to dry. This will be a good test because I did the laundry at about like 4:30-ish. So I think when I go and do laundry next, the two things that I'm going to do is I'll do it more frequently and do less of a load, because this load was way too large. And I feel that one of the things that's slowing me down on the drying process here is the fact that I have so much clothes packed together. I'm actually going to try to start spreading them out here in a second. It's like everywhere. I have it on the like the step ladder for the bunk bed. I have it on the edges of the bunk bed. It's, you know, the entire hanging rack that they have is filled. So I want to go ahead and do half of that, maybe, to where only the hanging rack's really filled, and maybe I have a few pieces hanging off the bunk bed. If the place that I'm renting, if the Airbnbs that I go to in the southern part, they don't have that laundry type facility, then I mean, I'm kind of screwed. Now, I will say that there is a laundromat like 2 blocks from this Airbnb, and I do believe it has a dryer. So I could go dry my laundry at that place should I need to be. And I think in Busan, that's probably going to be the longest stint that I'll be willing to go without it. Because I think in Busan, I'll have to relook it up, there is actually a laundromat like the one
2 blocks away that has a washer and dryer. And although it costs like, I think $7 to do your laundry, which it's pretty expensive. I don't know what it is at home, but I feel that that's expensive. It's worth my time at that point, just making sure that it gets done on time. I'll go put the laundry in, go grab a bite to eat, come back, put the dryer in, just watch something while I'm drying all my laundry, and then come back home. That being said, I'm gonna go get this QR code done. It has been a night of nights. Got to figure out what to do tomorrow. It's Saturdays. Maybe a museum or the park. It's kind of the two things that I'm like tossing up between. Leaning more towards the park because I've been inside for 2 weeks. So maybe staying outside like I did today kind of would be nice. We'll check back in, or I'll see you in the next video rather.